Well, okay, there it goes. Now it's recording.
Okay. Okay. I'm sitting here trying to get the scoop out of her and I'm like, press record. Let's give everybody the scoop. So who are you staring at over there? What's going on today?
Okay, so for people that are in the Facebook group, you guys have been following how I've been waking up sometimes with weird triangle marks on my body. And the first one, it was on this arm, on the inside of it, and it looked like burn marks. And I believe when we went to Vegas, I showed you, it just looked like these little tiny charred dots. So it didn't
Mm-hmm.
look like a bruise.
Mm-hmm.
And as it progressed, like progress as time passed, I guess, you could see the little puncture holes where the on these little black charred dots. It looks like I was burned or something. Not
Uh-huh.
really, because skin burns differently. It just turns red and blistery. It just looked like, I don't know how to
Right.
explain
Your
it.
dots actually looked very much just like freckles. But
Yeah,
I know freckles don't appear overnight in a perfect triangle form, but that's what that looks like. It doesn't look like it's like
yeah,
an yeah.
like not really. I don't know. And then I saw a another one on this arm, and these one look more like moles, like small moles. And there's
Right.
two of them that are brown, and one of them is really light and reddish. So I don't know if that could just be a an ailment, a skin condition thing, or I'm just getting moles, and it just happened to be in the shape of a triangle. But definitely the first one is definitely not something normal.
You had to, about, you made that post and a lot of people are putting their 2 cents in about their own experiences. And I didn't share mine because I'm so dowdy, but I'll just go ahead and throw mine in right there. But I had like a puncture wound right here as if I were having blood drawn. And I took a picture of it because I did not have blood drawn.
Mm.
And then I had an identical one in the same place, but behind my knee. And I don't even, and the reason I looked there is because like a chair fell on me, like a folded chair, and scraped the side of the back of my knee, not in the same place. So I have two identical little punctures right in the folds of this and my knee. Now, I really don't think anything of it, but who knows? And yours is very suspicious. And since you've got some energies there, we're going
Yes.
to find out.
Yeah, we'll find out about the first one. I have a feeling the second one is probably just, some moles appeared. At least that's what I'm picking up. Um, which makes me a little less excited, but whatever.
Damn, I only got one spot of alien marks.
One spot of alien marks, damn it. So these
Okay.
guys, I'm trying to get them to come closer, but I can't see them too well. I just know that they're humanoid looking and they're tall. But that's all I'm getting. I'm not, and I kept asking my guides, like, can I see them? I want to see them
Uh-huh.
more clearly for the Stardust video. And they're saying you'll see them when you're meant to. And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what the fuck?
Well, maybe you're meant to now. Show yourselves.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm meant to now. Let's get this over
Right. I know. Aren't we in control of our own lives? Come on.
with. So they're saying I would get scared, like the sight
Oh,
of them.
okay.
Well, then you guys must look really different than the usual things I talk to. So when their energy appeared to me, I
Yeah.
felt like I knew them, like on a subconscious level, because obviously I've had contact with these guys, but consciously in front of my brain, that's what I call it. The front of my brain doesn't know who they are, but the back of my
Okay.
brain does.
Okay.
They're finding that amusing, so they have a good sense of humor. It's a good
Okay.
thing. I was meditating and I had said something, I forgot what it was. Um, I said, like, ah, shit, I gotta pee again. I'm always peeing. And they found that funny. And I guess that it kind of felt like that's true. So, like, maybe when I'm even with them, I'm like, I gotta pee. On a spaceship somewhere, I gotta pee.
That's funny.
Where's the food at? I gotta pee.
Yeah, I wonder if when you go on your little abduction adventures, if you're always like, "Where's the food?"
I
That's like
like
your
that.
first goal.
My little abduction adventures.
Right.
Abduction misadventures. Um,
Fuck, I gotta go pee. I really do, but I'm not done. You see how I have to climb out of this corner.
okay, so I don't know what to ask them other than
Okay, well,
hello.
I do. I'm gonna ask some
Okay,
questions.
go for
Okay,
it.
so Um, what exactly is the mark? Why are there spots on her? What does it? Are you soldering her?
You guys just like, oh, we're just gonna inject you with this. Now this next.
Right.
No, what we're they said extracting out, and I can't catch that word. I've been
Ooh,
working on my clairaudience, so this is what I heard, but then it kind of trickles off when it's a word I don't really understand.
damn.
So let me use my energy and
God,
then
that's cool. Okay.
my backup. It okay, so there's someone. He's kind of cute. He's
Uh-huh. It's kind of cute. I can't see what they look like, but that one's cute.
his energy's cute.
That's so interesting.
um okay. He didn't have any reaction to that. He was just like, okay, whatever. And he's coming closer to me and is trying to show me what it was they were taking out. It looks
Gosh.
like some kind of like it's a liquid, some kind of venom or something. I don't know. That's the closest thing I can think of. What
You're
the fuck was in
goodness.
my body? It wasn't venom. They said he weren't bit by a snake. Um, maybe I could bring in Eric because they're not saying anything. Maybe it's
Go
too
get him.
much
Go
for
get
me.
him.
Because
Eric,
also sometimes, oh shit, we have to call him Jax.
I think I'm over that, but we can.
No. They just keep showing me this image. I don't know what that is.
So you feel like they're taking something out of you that didn't belong there? Because my first thought was like just because I'm like so
Yeah, they said
sophisticated,
it
like
said it
genetic
didn't belong.
codes.
They said it
Okay.
didn't belong.
Why
Um,
was it in there? Why was it in her body? Did some bad guys put it in, or did she just grow it?
they liked that she grew it. Um, it was something she picked up over time. Um,
Huh.
and they said hindering her ability to grow is what they said.
Oh
Is it something
gosh.
physical or is it more like an emotional thing? Um, they're saying no, it's physical. Um, like an
Huh.
ailment, like some kind of physical, was a physical ailment.
Wow. God, and how have you been feeling? I mean, really, have you been feeling like your tummy troubles any better?
I know I haven't had any tummy troubles and I've started eating gluten again. So, um,
Whoa.
I know. Um, no, they're saying that wouldn't help you with that, what we did, but you should stop eating gluten.
I'm sorry,
See,
H.
even the
Oh,
aliens are against me. And
I
you don't even know what
know.
gluten is. It's delicious is what it is though.
Don't knock it till you dry it, aliens.
They find us amusing. Okay. They're saying this is much how I behave when I'm with them. I'm just cracking jokes the whole time.
All right,
They
so where
even
does she go when she goes with you? Where are you
hold on.
going? Tell us everything.
They're telling us they're saying we're trying to get there.
Okay,
Trying to get
sorry.
there. But they're saying that even when I'm with them and they're gonna put something in my arm, they always tell me before they do it. This is what they're telling me. We always forewarn you about what we're about to do before we do it. They're saying this is the first time you've ever channeled us, so we're really excited. Um,
Oh, me too.
and they're saying that you're like, oh well, just punch me, like making a joke about just prickle me up. I'm just a voodoo doll or something like that. Just like I was making
And
some
that's
kind of joke.
interesting because when you're conscious, you're a big pussy about that stuff. But over
Yeah.
there, you're like, go ahead and impale me again.
I was making a joke, so I think I was scared of the needle, so
Okay.
I use humor to help myself through things.
Right.
Um, one of them's like, humor is a distress signal? Like, the way they said it was kind of funny. Now they're concerned every time I make a joke, I'm in pain. Um, oh, it's somewhat true. Okay, so, but it affects me emotionally what you took out. Yes. So explain to me how that works. How could
Yeah.
something, are you physical beings within this dimension? They said we are. Um, so like if you were to come onto Earth and I would be able to see with my physical eyes, yes. Okay, so they're fleshy beings. They're saying just far more advanced than you. Uh, both in all areas, they said, in all areas. So not just technologically, so I'm assuming like spiritually and mentally.
Right,
Yes.
right.
They don't call it spiritually though.
Oh,
It's just something else. Um, they said a way of life, just the way we live life, the way we perceive life is far more advanced than you.
okay,
That sounds
okay.
mean.
We'll get there. Well, I still want to know what, so those are injections, those are needle marks.
Yes, they're needle marks. They said we
I
punctured
mean,
her.
not injections, but extraction, sorry.
Yeah, they punctured my skin. Um, and it looks like they took something out. They said we also placed something in as well after that. Um,
What? What'd you put in her? Can I
help.
have some?
It feels like it's something, you know, a lot of people when they channel this kind of stuff, they automatically assume it's like something that when they say they're injected with something, they say it affected them emotionally. Like it's almost like it was in another dimension because they can't perceive how something
Okay.
can affect them emotionally and physically at the same time. But when
Uh-huh.
you think about it, when we take medications, they affect
Oh,
us
sure.
emotionally and stuff like that. So
Definitely.
it's
Yeah.
no different than that. Same logic, except I'm not taking a
Okay.
pill.
Okay.
Um, they're saying, but this is permanent and long term. Our technology and our medicine, they're saying you could think of it as medicine. It's far more
Oh.
advanced.
Oh.
Um, and it's almost like an implant, but in liquid form, and it stays there
Okay.
permanently in the body.
It's like you got a vaccination.
Yeah, and they started laughing. Um, they're saying that what is it doing? It'll be like something like it'll be shown to you in time.
Oh, another one of those.
I hate those.
So what came
What?
out though? Was it just like some kind of health issue that could have
Yeah, so
grown?
something hindering me. It
Okay.
stemmed from something emotional that took
Huh.
form in a physical way. So they took
Okay.
out the physical part of it because they said you are healing yourself emotionally now. So it would not hinder your growth if we were to extract the physical part that's affecting you on top of it.
And-
Um, we wouldn't have done it if I wasn't working on myself because then I'm just, it's
Okay.
like they're putting a band aid over it or enabling the
Yes.
behavior. Um,
Okay.
they said that we see that you're struggling with your physical aspect of yourself and what helps with the what we put in it's kind of like gives me a jump start on the healing, a more positive approach to it. It doesn't pull me down as much because healing
Huh.
yourself and letting things go for a little bit, it's kind of like people call it the dark soul or whatever. Like,
I've had some dark nights of the soul, I'll tell you
there you
that.
go. So they're saying it prevents that from happening because she has work to do while she's doing this. She doesn't have
Oh,
time.
God, you're getting a free pass off that one. That's awesome.
They're saying it still won't be easy to deal with it, but you're going to be handling it a whole lot better. It's not that you're going to
Oh,
heal
wow.
faster. It's just that while you're healing, it's not
It's
keeping
less
you from your
brutal.
work. Yeah. So that's nice.
Okay, so let me, because I just made that joke about we're in control of our lives. So on some level, is it like Heather's physical self in astral, or is it her higher self? Who's giving permission or asking for this help? How does this contract
She
happen
gave
between
us
you guys?
permission. They're saying they didn't quite understand your question because they don't, I think they
Okay,
don't, I think they understand the concept of astral and higher and all that, but I don't think they use that. Um,
okay,
this is we do, but they're saying that it was me that gave the permission. So physical me
okay.
here.
And did Heather seek you out, or did you guys come knocking on her door and say, "Hey, we can help you. Do you want our help?"
We asked. So they had asked me, do you want our help? Um,
I want your help.
they're saying that we're very, they're taking you up on your offer. They said, okay. Um, they're saying that with the people we have connections with, the humans, we have a close connection with them. We stay in contact
Okay,
even when they're on Earth. Um,
okay.
we haven't been in contact with, they're saying, I hate it when they say my name. I don't know why. I feel weird about talking to myself in third person. Um, they're saying that we've been in contact with her since we haven't been in contact with her for about a year or so. Um,
Okay.
but that's only because there was no need to come take her. We don't take you for fun. It's, um,
Right.
but there's like a colleague thing, like you,
Okay. And what's you
what?
listening? I always interrupt. I try not to. What's the process of that? Is it very similar to like when Sammy J comes and whisks her off, or what happens when you come and
Well,
take her? And where does she go?
when you brought up Sam, they got this big old smile. They were just talking about how happy. It's almost like I get this sense of pride and happiness from what I have with Sam.
Oh gosh, that's sweet.
Um, they said it's a very big deal what you two have done. Oh, well, thanks. I don't think so. You know.
I think so. I think so.
um, so how do you come and abduct me? I find that funny. Abduct. Because they're saying, because we willingly take you. You don't say, no, don't take me. The second you say
Right.
no, we stop what we're doing.
Right.
They're saying any benevolent creature would do that, would stop
Hmm.
what they're doing immediately when you say so. That's not to say entirely that those that don't are evil. It's just that some are more advanced and more sensitive than others.
Okay.
Um, okay, they got off topic. I got this image of me floating in the sky, and I'm going to a spacecraft, and it's what does it look like? It's like circular. Looks like those typical dish shapes
Okay.
ones.
I got a flying saucer.
Yeah. They said we come from far away. We're nowhere near your galaxy, they said.
Okay.
We look very different. That's why we won't really show ourselves because
Okay.
even if we were to, your mind wouldn't be able to really comprehend what you're seeing, even in channeling.
God, that's weird.
There's some limitations with channeling. You can only channel from what you can understand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say that a person is a bad filter. Well, I'll just say filter because everyone
Okay.
knows what that means. It just means that every channel has this limitation to them. They
Okay.
said even we do. Um, we sometimes can't understand or perceive certain things because it's not within our reality, and it's never
Mm-hmm.
have been. Um, and your mind blocks things out to protect it. And
Okay.
there's a lot of mind involved in channeling, as much as you try to get out of your mind. Um, anyway, that was the whole spiel about channeling.
Okay, so let me ask why are you helping Heather? Are you helping more members of Stardust or humanity, or are you singling this girl out? What's the deal?
Within Stardust, just this girl, I said so far. Um, they're saying because she had asked us to help her. I don't know when I had asked that.
And why did she ask you? Are you old friends?
They're saying not from a past life, if that's what you're thinking. But they said that we are old friends. And I don't know what that means. They said they've known me since I was a little girl.
Okay.
Um, it was something I agreed to. How did we come into contact? Because I don't remember as like a little kid me sitting there be like, okay, come take me.
Right.
They find that funny. They're saying a lot of the time your agreement for contact happens more in your mind, in the back of the mind, than it happens in the front of
Okay.
the mind.
Okay.
Um, so when did this happen? Around what age? 11. I was like 10 or 11. Um, they said they did a lot of work with my emotional strains. Um, oh, they're talking about like, they're going like this. And they're saying ego. And I think what they mean is like my depression.
Hmm.
Yes. And anxiousness. They said mostly just the emotional part of me. Because that's when my depression really kicked in, was at that age. Um,
Hmm.
so you had asked for our help. to keep you from eliminating yourself. I like how they said that, eliminating yourself.
But why did she ask you? Because, I mean, are there like ties on the non-physical? I mean, family ties, I'm going to call them.
Was it me that I consciously did it? No, subconsciously. They're saying that your soul reached out to us, much like how you're channeling now. People channel, so this is crazy. What they're saying is I like reached out to them, but I didn't even realize I was channeling and asking for help from these people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no different than how I'm able to speak with them now.
Okay.
I did that then when I was younger and I didn't realize it.
So is it something?
It could be something, they're saying it could have been something you did in your dream and
Okay.
you had come to us. So they're saying in a non-physical realm then, to answer your question simply.
I'm just wondering why it's them too. Like, is it me? Like, just say I'm just praying to God, help me, and then whoever hears that prayer comes and answers. Why you guys? Do you have that certain
They're saying we are not God.
way to help her? Is it specific to her?
They're saying first off, we're not God. So they were really quick to fix that.
I didn't mean to imply that, but I just meant
yeah.
like a generic cry for help.
They said some species do that, but most of us tend to want something much more specific. Like you need to actually like reach out to them specifically. They won't just come just because you're asking.
Okay.
Let me ask, because they don't know the answer to that. I mean, they can guess, but let me channel spirit then and bring that in.
Yeah, ask Heine. Why am I going to these guys?
They're saying that is because they know I knew them. My soul, like higher self, knew them.
So soul family connections or just soul connections.
Right.
Okay.
And that's interesting because I guess your soul family can come to you and help you in ways that you can't even understand. This is the first time I'm hearing something like this where, you can connect with aliens through soul family connections.
And we were just talking yesterday about what Aiden said about how there's different ways, there's no rules as to the ways you want to heal.
Well, that's
so
true.
I feel like you took a little, and I'm not knocking it, I'm like all for it, took a little cheat sheet and had them extract whatever it was to make your ride a little smoother. But
they're
that's
talking
another
about how
way
your emotions give off a chemical in your body, and that's how it can affect you physically. True. So they're saying that it's like they are extracting out that chemical, that thing that was affecting me.
Okay. Like, like cortisol, stress creates cortisol, which creates weight gain and whatever it is,
Can you help with my weight gain? I've been eating a lot of hot Cheetos and I'd really rather it not affect me anymore. They're saying stop eating hot Cheetos.
I was looking for another easy cheat sheet answer too.
Damn it.
Son was getting ready to raise.
Damn it. They said, well, if you were to stop eating like you do and shown that you were on the progression towards a healthier diet, then we would help you with your weight gain and get rid of it. Help you to lessen it at least a little bit, or to be able to start up the metabolism so you burn things off quicker.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying there's a molecule, I don't know what that is, like they can put in your body to make you burn fat faster and easier. Like a small dosage of it would help.
Just signed up for that one.
Yeah. But you have to start eating healthy and show that you're working out and doing all that, because I'm not going to enable the behavior.
Okay, I like that a lot. That's cool. Is it like that for many of us, that once our guides start seeing that we're making an effort, they'll kind of push us along and help us more as long as we're on our way?
Yeah.
I think that's
yeah. I also, that whole thing that Jesus said, I help those who help themselves. It's that kind of thing. There you go.
Yes. In the universe, they'll match your vibration, but they're not going to do all the work for you. You meet them halfway and they'll help bring you the things you need to get there. Okay.
I said, yes, absolutely. We live by the same rules, I said. So tell me more about you guys, your culture.
Yes.
Do we have a name for you guys? Not yet. I call them the Saturnians. That's who they are. That's who you guys are.
We talked to them before, didn't we? I swear we did.
We did. Yeah.
Well, hello again.
Hello.
Did we
They're
talk to the
not.
same specifics or are you a new set of
No.
friends? Okay.
Looks like they're saying some of us are the same, but it's they're very, like we said last time, they're very collective hive mind kind of
Okay.
thing. So
Okay.
I don't remember what I even channeled then. Not completely.
I
That's okay.
know, me neither. We've done so many shows, it's hard to remember each one.
It's so weird because I don't hear names very well. So Saturnians. I made that up.
All right. So are you like hovering around in our atmosphere, hanging out and
No, we
how
don't
did
hang around Earth. Much too crowded, they say. What do you mean by that? Is there a lot of aliens around there? There are, but it's mostly they're calling it dust. You know that probably all the fucking
Ah,
shit we have out in space, all the space junk, um,
oh man, pollution.
our space pollution.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're not very happy about that. Like, we need to fix that.
I
Well,
didn't, I
let me
wasn't even
get right
aware that.
on that. Let me get in my
Right.
spaceship and grab my broom.
I'm still trying to master curbside recycling. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So what is like, well, okay. So just to use the Greys as an example, they like to collect data. What is your thing? Do you have a thing?
We like to help where we're needed,
Okay.
with those that need us, and because to them it's like we're all on the same journey, we're all on the same team. Um, so to help someone else is to help yourself, and
True.
so it's like them helping someone from a different species. They say this may be hard for you to comprehend, but it's no different than helping a family member, your neighbor,
Yeah, that
because
absolutely makes
the
sense.
betterment of one species can only ever help yours, not hinder it.
Okay.
So that's why they do that. They're just there to help out, a helping hand. They said we have the means, why not?
Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to gear some questions towards our Stardust group. You said that you are only working with Heather right now, but I wonder if there's any kind of just words of comfort you can offer to others that may fear abductions. Am I saying that word right? I lost how to say it. I don't know. Some people have marks and they're unsure if it's an ET or what it is. And
They're saying
I
if
don't have
you
anything.
are
So
unsure, you should ask. You should ask someone. Um, and I should also point out willing to ask. Because I get people that message me sometimes saying, asking my opinion on something. I'm like, no, no, thank you. I usually just ignore the messages, let's be honest. Because,
yeah, well, you know what? Get a reading. I'm sorry to be just vulgar, but I get so many messages inbox to me, and I don't even have to do anything but just send a laugh back. But to put me to work and ask me to channel and come up with answers for you,
I know
put me on the clock.
I know technically it's only like, oh, it's just one question. Yeah, but I
That's
get
not true.
those. I get those. It's just one question from like 20 people a day, and it'll be from people I haven't even heard from in like years, and
Mm.
they'll need help. And it's not that I don't want to help you. It's just it drains my fucking energy. People
You just
don't.
have to have respect for that because I'm your bestie. You love me so much. And I rarely, rarely ask a reading question. It's like once or twice a year, unless I've booked a reading, because I respect that boundary. And I know that, I'm just kind of tooting my horn right now, but I'm just going to ask the whole world to respect those boundaries. We do get inundated and overwhelmed with private messages all the time.
Well, I don't,
So
and then I don't want people to feel bad for private messaging me. If it's just like something funny, like, hey, I found that this was funny, I wanted to share it with me. It's just
I don't want people to
reading
feel
stuff.
bad either, but I really want them to stop. If you got something
No.
funny, put it on my wall. I'm serious. This is my public request to leave my inbox
Oh
alone.
no,
Okay.
I'm okay with it. If it's just
That's
something
too much for
casual.
me.
Oh, because
I'm
I'm good
done.
with just ignoring it, and I'll get to it when I feel up to it. That's
Oh
just
yeah,
how I
I've got
am.
like 30 of them in there completely
Oh no,
untouched.
I'm
Ooh.
not. I don't get 30. I'm not that
I
popular.
get a lot. I get a lot. Well, it's
I
30
get
because it's been building up for a few weeks.
I get one or two a week, and I'm like, yeah, man,
Really?
yeah.
God, I'm like one or two a day, all the time. Just nonsense.
I think maybe because I have that boundary up of don't talk to me.
No, I've tried to put it up and it worked for a while. I'm just going to go get another surgery and tell people to leave me alone. I'm just kidding. And I really don't mean to be ungrateful, but it is, it is draining on me, even without asking for a reading question. So I'm going to put that right back to what our
Awesome.
Saturnians are saying. If you are curious, then find out there are plenty of mediums that would be glad to help you if you're unable to channel that message on your own.
That wasn't me saying you should buy a reading for me because I'm taking a break from that too.
That was me saying that. Well, plenty of mediums
There's
out there.
plenty of
So
mediums, so many
if
others that are
H isn't
great.
available, there's another one. Yeah.
Um,
Do
okay,
you
so
and so Saturnians are generally speaking though, are these kinds of interactions for the benefit? Is it mostly benevolence going on with this stuff?
more likely because those that tend to leave marks,
Mhm.
they're not trying to hide themselves. It's because you're
Okay.
fully aware of what's going on and you had agreed to it.
Okay.
Those that
Oh, that's nice.
don't tend to hide it a lot better because they don't want you to
Mhm.
know. They don't want you to find
Mhm.
out. So if you do spot something and it's in a very obvious place, like on your arm, in a place where you can
Mhm.
see it, more likely than not, it's something benevolent. Um,
Oh, and they're giving you a little wink about it too.
yeah. Usually, the ones that want to hide it, they spend a lot of their time learning how to hide it for a reason.
Mhm.
And it's it's because they're doing something that they know they're not really allowed to be doing. They know they're overstepping boundaries. And so most of the time you won't even know it's happening. Uh,
Having said that, though, I don't want to create fear in people because
right?
it's my belief that whether or not this conscious version of Carrie is aware of this or gives permission, we work with our higher self. Free will is something I'm really trying to understand and master. So even though I say, my higher self, I work with her and she may have a plan that I'm not in agreement with, but the bigger picture says something else.
Well,
So
I would say you're not that you're not in agreement with it, your ego isn't, which
there
isn't
you go. Perfect. Yes.
isn't
Yes.
necessarily you, your permanent you. It's a temporary
Hmm.
you. So the temporary you is
Yes.
in disagreement. Um, they find this all funny. They're kind of like, "Oh, how cute!" Like,
The little preschoolers figuring shit out.
I know, like we're at the preschool level. What? Give us some credit. Come on, we've come a long way, kind of. Kind of. I mean, we're still killing each other, but I mean, what are you gonna do about that?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
Well,
do?
yeah, I don't want to have fear. I don't want to say that there's bad guys and blah
Yes.
blah blah. And but
There.
what?
Let me put
Our
it.
lives. Yes,
Go for it. Sorry.
we I'm just gonna go off on a different direction just for a second and just go with like attachments.
Yeah.
You may say you don't want to have an attachment. I didn't agree to this, but it's my personal feeling that, we all go through these things of surrender and dropping our ego. I did it through, unrequited love of boys in my twin relationships. Other people do it through an attachment. It's all about learning, claiming your self power and learning about yourself and dropping your ego and all that stuff. So even when it's something that looks like it's a real negative, your soul self chose to do this in order to help you evolve. So there's always some kind of silver lining behind it. There's always light behind the dark.
There is. They find it so cute. They're like, "Oh, look at her."
Look how cute I am.
I was gonna say that most times it's like I would say 95 to 99% of the time it's benevolent. It's a very small chance, and they're saying they absolutely agree. Um,
Good.
they're less likely to mess with you. Because they don't want to. It's like you guys are becoming more aware. It's becoming a lot harder to get away with
Ooh.
things. Um, so
We're
that's
on to
not.
you.
They're saying that do have a level. There is a level of protection around the human race that's going on because of this. Because of where you're at in your involvement, you're more susceptible to things.
Okay.
Kind of like a child who's very ignorant.
Okay.
And so there is a level of protection going on, absolutely, both with the planet and with your species itself against other things. Um, we can't protect you against yourselves, of course. We can try to intervene by giving advice, which happens a lot,
Mm.
but you never they say you hardly ever take us up on our offers. And they're saying that we're not talking about us. Because we're part of an alliance. They're calling it the alliance.
Okay. All of them then. Okay.
Yeah, all of them.
Oofa.
UFA, as we've discussed before. What was it? What would it UFA stand for?
United Federation of Aliens.
Of Aliens? Yes. They like that. They said, of course, you would come up with that. But they're saying that there's other species that are far younger than humans, and they're not quite at our level yet, but it's almost like they're getting there, and they're starting to pique the interest of those less kind species. So we have to go assist them now.
Okay.
So we're not just helping humans, not just about you guys.
What?
Yeah. What? You guys aren't just all here around just us only?
What?
They're laughing. They said, no, believe it or not, there's others who need your help far more. Need our help far more.
Funny.
So yeah, we go where we're needed, and we hope that one day when you eventually get to a certain degree of advancement, you would join us on our help to help your fellow neighbors. That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they said last time. They help their fellow neighbors. I don't know. I mix them all up. They all kind of blur in together.
I know, it's the truth. Okay, so, I don't know what other questions I was so interested in that. I'm so glad that, this may lead into something else, but I love that you saw the marks. We all have dots. Like I had my own dots and I just blow it off. But I think it's so fucking cool that we actually get to investigate it and get an answer. I love that.
What about this one? This new one? Is that you guys? No. Is it an alien thing or is it a mole thing? Saying we don't know. We wouldn't know.
See, I was going to ask him about my punctures, but if they don't know about yours, they're not going to know about mine.
Yeah, they don't. It's like we don't know everything.
I'll have to talk to God for that one.
God?
Are you there, God? It's me, Heather.
What's up, man? What's going on? All right. Well, that wraps it up with them. We figured out what the dot is. We got a lot of good questions in, and yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this last question on the behalf of all of Stardusters. I really would like to solicit your help. In which ways could you help me, if you're willing to?
Oh, it looks like they would have to study you for a little bit to see what's going on with you.
Uh-oh.
It's like they use some kind of device or something, kind of like
put me in the scanner.
Yeah, like a scanner thing to see what's going on with you.
And so it doesn't
would
work.
Evolve them. Hold on, they're showing me more.
Sorry.
It's okay. When you're dreaming is when they usually come to you, because your barrier's down. You find out a lot about what's going on in their head through their dreams and through their what they're feeling. Because they're saying that the feeling I get is that they are open, kind of like spiritually and stuff, but they're not like how you would think. They're not angels. They're not spirit. They're not going to know everything, and they're not going to magically just energy heal you up. They're saying as powerful as energy healing is and can be, it's not the sole solution to physical ailments and should not be. They're saying that we were able to combine both, so find a way to combine both of those. But what I'm getting is that it's mostly like these liquids they work with. It's,
interesting.
Some kind of, liquid form of some kind of medicine they inject. And they're saying that liquids are a lot better than the solids because they go easier into the system, the flow, because your body's mostly made up of liquid. They're saying.
Yeah. You don't have to break it down so much.
Right. I forgot what you were saying, but that's saying that that's how they would figure out how they can help you. And if it's worth helping, because sometimes you're not there yet to be able to receive their help. So they're saying we can't make any promises. But we're always willing to help those in need that are willing to help themselves first. They like Jesus is saying. They help themselves.
Well, I'm at this point. Then is it safe to assume that you are gonna scan me and see if you can help? Oh, really? Oh, how exciting! I'm gonna look for some dots.
They said not yet, not early in this development, but give it Give it some time.
Oh, I appreciate that. I feel really stuck and stagnant in my growth right now, and I'm such a go-getter. I really want to do my work, but I'm not really sure what to do. So go ahead, take a peek.
Um, I was just
And
thinking
is that
about when the Palladians took out an ulcer out of my stomach. I was just remembering that. That was
Ooh.
crazy. I still remember that so vividly too.
Mm.
Anyway, they
So does
can't
that
help us.
hold true? Does your offer hold true for all the Stardusters? If they, I mean, I don't want to like, put extra burdens on you, but you're like, we'll help anybody.
We can help.
If I'm
We'll help those we're able to help and can help.
okay, so all you got to do is ask then. Is that what you're saying? And
Yeah,
and
we're
then if you
not
can, you will.
we're not problem solvers. We're not here
Hmm.
to relieve you of all your ailments. Some of them
Right,
we are not allowed to solve for you. Some of
right,
them are
right.
there's a line that we cannot cross. Especially
Well,
if
I
it's
get it.
something that it's mostly emotional based, let's put it that way. So if it's
Mhm.
something permanent that's part of you, something more
Right.
drastic, I would say like cancer, right? Or mental illness of some kind. Unless it stemmed from something emotional, we cannot help you with that. We will not help you.
Okay.
Because if it did not stem from something more emotional, that means it won't be healed by our help. Um, because your ailments are entirely
Mhm.
different. Just because we're advanced doesn't mean we
But for
know.
them to heal me,
Whoa, you froze and then you
right?
sped up
I
super
just would
fast.
appreciate. Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place. No, no, that's very sweet because I don't expect anybody to do my work for me, but I would certainly appreciate any kind of help along the way. So thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're just trying
Okay.
to say that for people who are saying, "Oh, I'm sick," or "I broke my knee," or something like that. They're just like,
Right.
no, because some of their ailments that we have, some of the things that we have, they don't have and they don't get,
Mhm.
so they wouldn't know how to treat it. They're saying, don't
Right.
mistake our advancement for being able to know everything. Um,
Right. That absolutely makes sense. Yes. I mean, you guys have different biology and different everything. So,
right, but everyone is emotional to some degree, and that's what we help with. We
what's your
know
emotions like? Sorry.
the same as you. We can get
Okay.
angry, we can get sad. Of course, we're happy. Most of the time, we feel just contentment.
Okay. What do you do when you're angry? I have a big old tantrum. How do you handle your anger?
We go inward. Um, we spend time alone with ourselves because we don't want to spread our anger to other people. Worst things
Mm,
happen when you're angry, you lash out. So it's best to just
it's true.
separate yourself for time being. Sometimes when we're really upset, this happens. This rarely occurs, but when they're really mad, they'll be gone for a few days. It's almost like they're sick,
Mm,
like call out from work. I'm
wow.
too pissed. That must be nice. Um, with sadness is a little different. Usually with sadness, you want to be around a group of people to support you.
Hmm.
So the healing process through that is different, but we mostly like to feel contentment. Um,
Okay.
so that's like a mellow happiness. It's not like overjoyed. Um,
Right. I feel
but
like that's how, what we kind of strive for too, because we do have peaks where we're so super happy and we absolutely have, depths where we're brokenhearted. But for me anyway, most of my life, at least once I finished all that big healing, it's been just content, almost just right there, just even keeled, not way up here and not down below. That's nice.
it leads to more peace. They're saying not that joy is bad, but too much. It's not. It's like keeping balance leads to a more peace.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's all I have to
All
say.
right. Well, I'm so grateful that you came and shared that information with us and solved that mystery. And I guess I'm done. Are you done, H?
I'm done.
Do you guys have anything you want to add? Are you guys done too?
They're just giving me words of encouragement. I'm like kind of just letting me know I'm doing okay.
Aw.
I'm doing good stuff. Like, do you deal with the same shit I'm dealing with? No. No, we don't. Ugh, that sucks. That sucks. But at least the world's on pause, so I can work on myself.
That's right. Earth is closed.
So they're finding that funny. They're like kind of a little laugh out of it. Earth is closed. Come back later.
Right? We'll flip the sign in a couple months, whatever. All right, sissy pants.
Well,
I
yeah.
guess that's it. Here's my super short self-promotion. My meditation's coming up in a few days from my birthday. Throw
Oh
some
yeah.
dollars at me if you want. If you don't want, that's okay too. But come blow up. And I'm going to self-promote for you. Go check out Heather's site. She's got information on her classes, her channeling classes.
Oh
And
yeah.
did you decide if you were going to do it a little bit earlier and take advantage of the
No,
closed earth?
I'm gonna keep it the same date. But I got my pendulums in the mail for the
Let me
class.
see.
The aliens are interested too. They're all
Let
different
me
colors. I want to take it out of the plastic, but here
do
it
it.
is for anyone watching.
There it is. I got one just like that in my drawer, but it's hiding.
Um. Anyway, so everyone who signs up for the 8-week course gets, a pendulum, class notebook, and what the fuck else? Oh, a tarot deck.
Found it.
Aw.
That matches me even. How do you like that? All right. I was in your class before. I'm a bad student.
Well, you can always, once you sign up, you have access to all the materials forever. Or
Mhm.
until, Learn It Live shuts down. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool too. That if you miss the class, you can go back and access it. Access it. Exit.
Exit. Anyway, but if, I just might be in France or Germany during one of the classes if I go in July or August.
That's the beauty of internet classes. You can teach from anywhere. We can work from anywhere we want. That's pretty cool. Go have your boyfriend Volty help you out with that French class.
I'm so excited about him. God, I fucking love that man. I feel like we're just chatting now, but everyone's bored at home anyway, so
I know.
welcome to our quarantine party.
Yeah, if you guys want to end the video now, the rest of this is probably just going to be nonsense.
It's just nonsense about me, having my fun with Voltaire. Oh, he makes me crazy. I applied for
Go get him. Oh, yes, you applied for something. Oh, yeah, there he is. Volty, come here. Come listen to this story with us.
Volty.
Saturnians.
Oh, by the way, to anybody that was wondering, I've been sharing it in the Stardust group just once or twice, but I didn't get into the master's program at Fresno State, which fucking sucked. They said that my writing wasn't good enough. It wasn't there yet.
What?
And I'm like, okay.
Fuck you.
I'm like, first off, if it's good enough for the publishing industry, it's good for your university. Second off, I'm very prideful, so this is my pride coming out. This is like my biggest fucking flaw. Is this. But also, if I'm not good enough, then you should have me in your program in the first fucking place. Right! Because isn't that what school's about? It's about learning and growing, and that's why I went to apply. Because I know there's a lot I still need to learn, and I know I'm not this master yet, and I want to be, and I want to get there. So how the fuck am I supposed to get better at my writing if nobody's willing to take a chance on me? Like, that's some bullshit right there. And if I was good enough, why would I give you thousands of my dollars?
Yeah, take my fucking money, man. And they need to take some lessons from the Saturnians because you're willing to meet them halfway.
Yes.
You're willing to put the work in. Now let them meet you.
I know. They're saying, don't feel bad because this program's highly competitive. You know what? Only 20 people a year apply to that fucking program. It's not very competitive. That just means I'm not that good or
they're just stupid. Well, you know what I think it is? Roadblocks happen for a reason to direct us in no place we're meant to go. So be pissed off, and then eventually you'll find your silver lining.
Well, I'm not too
Thanks
mad.
fucking God I wasn't in that class because now I got this.
Well, I did find something better and a lot cheaper online, and I can take it at my own pace, and I don't have to go anywhere for it. But it just sucked.
Talking about, what did you do again? Yeah, that's a disappointment. But no, you did some kind of editor class thingy. What did you just sign up for?
I applied for an editorial internship at a literary agency, which if you want to break into the publishing industry other than being a writer, if you want to work as like, an editor or an agent or whatever, you have to start, like, usually you have to start at an unpaid internship. There's hardly any entry level jobs that are paid. So I have to get my foot in the door somehow. And since we're all working from home right now, and I'm trying to find a job working from home, I thought might as well just do that on the side.
Yeah, I won't, it'll just benefit you at some point,
Right.
whatever it
And
is. Yep.
it's a remote job, so I don't have to go anywhere. And
Pajama job.
pajama
Best
job,
kind.
the
Hmm.
best kind. That's and I'm also signed up. I forgot to tell you. I signed up
Oh,
for bookkeeping courses. So I'm going to be a bookkeeper.
like math?
Yeah, like math. Um,
Ew.
but I
Ew.
do it with Stardust in my business anyway, so I thought, and I really enjoy that part. I love organizing and detail
I know.
orientation stuff. So, and I buy more post-it. It's an excuse to go to the office supply store now.
And
But
I'm always like, thank you for being the administrator. I can't do any of this shit. Just, I love it. Look at my new organizer.
I
Whatever it
know,
is.
right? My new fucking planner, my new fucking
Right.
highlighter, all the right. So I like that kind of stuff. So I decided to do bookkeeping. It's fucking hard, by the way. I don't understand anything that's going on. I'm learning about credit and debit, which is apparently different than what we were told. I don't even know, and I'll have a headache about it.
Yeah, I'm done listening to you talk about math.
Yeah.
It's hurting my
Oh,
brain.
no, no. I don't even know anymore. But anyway, I just want to be a bookkeeper because most of them are work from home jobs. And so I'm like, oh, whatever. And it still allow me to be flexible and travel wherever I want. I already do it anyway for, everything else. Might as well get paid for it.
Right. No kidding.
And I'm taking the courses because it helps to have some kind of certification. It looks good. So
I'm doing nothing.
you're doing nothing?
I have, I got that gunk still in my solar plexus, which makes me lazy and unmotivated. But I've been reviewing my notes, and I think I'm just supposed to be here and continue to heal without moving forward.
Voltaire's like, he's here. He's been listening to us.
Voltaire, I love you. Hi,
He,
baby.
and it didn't feel like he said you were meant to be there. It just like, you want to be there. That's where you want to
Oh,
be. Um,
all right.
he said if you really wanted to, you could really push yourself to get out of there, but you don't want
Yeah,
to
I
push.
know. No, because my solar plexus is making me a big pussy. Blaming it on the gunk.
He's saying, and you want free will, yet you're blaming things on something else as if they
Right.
were outside of you.
No, it's right here. It's inside me. I keep like bonking it. But you know what I do know? I say I'm at a loss, and I am at a loss. But everything always comes to me eventually, so I'm not particularly stressed out about it. But it is because every time I go through something, I kind of know what it is. I knew I had 20 issues. I knew I had mommy issues. I knew I had all these things I needed to do, and I'm like, what? But it'll come to me. It always does.
He said it's almost like you can't see what it is you're trying to heal from. And
Yeah.
so he's saying that's because you're not done with it yet. It's one of those things you won't be able to see it until after it's done.
That's how they usually are. They're almost all retrospective. I mean, even with the other stuff, the mommy issues and the twin issues, the full lessons don't come until you're done with them. You might have a piece of it, but.
I mentioned Voltaire in my cover letter to the job I applied to, the
Really?
internship.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I had to mention him because they said, who are your top 5 favorite creators? And they say creators, so it could be, it could be a writer, it could be a
Right.
director, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I put him very last. I put, who was the first one? I put Andrew Davidson. He's a writer. Favorite book of all time is written by him. David Foster Wallace is another writer. Poet Emily Dickinson. I put Tim Burton because I love how fucking weird he is. And then I said I would be remiss if I didn't put writer and philosopher
My baby
Voltaire.
daddy.
I did not say baby daddy. I was very professional. Very professional in my cover letter. But I was so tempted to be like, he's delicious.
Frillies and all.
Frillies and all. He's saying I would leave the frillies on for you. Like as if you'd be naked everywhere else, just all the frillies.
Oh He is so silly.
Yes. Oh God, I'm writing a book about him. It's a nonfiction, but it's gonna be like a story. So it's not gonna be boring like some biographies are. It's gonna be like following his whole life and written in his perspective. So I'm gonna be channeling him a lot for this
Oh, that's so
book.
cool.
Yeah. He seems really excited. I'm bringing Voltaire into the 21st century.
How fun is that as a spirit to be able to live, well, almost vicariously in a way, That's so cool to.
He says he loves it. It's
Mm.
one of his favorite parts about being a spirit. All the fun without the work.
Oh, yeah, man. You got it going on over there, don't you?
He says you guys feel as though you'll be missing out if you go on the other side. You're not here physically to experience things. He's like, but if you find the right partner to live through, like I have.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
I love you. He's so cute. I'm all blushy. I love
I'm
him.
getting all feely. Oh, it's very
I
sweet.
haven't
Mm.
spoken to Sam much since the whole world shut down. I don't know why. He's here. I think she just popped in. He was
Hi,
asleep.
Sam. Earth's closed, so is Heather.
So am I. I know. I haven't been channeling for a whole week, and this is the first day in a week I've channeled.
Ah.
I don't know why I don't talk to him as much now. I think it's because I don't know. I'm lazy. It takes a lot of work for me to channel, and I just don't want to like.
See, your yellow chakra is right next to mine. I'm just kidding.
I'm just so
I
fucking
really do
lazy.
feel closed and lazy. I really do. And I'm wondering, do you have a theory on this? I kind of because I don't even talk to Sarah and we have plenty to talk about even without seeing each other, but our messages are like one a week and they're 3 words. It's like I thought it was just me, but maybe lots of us are just gone inside of our cocoon. Do you
What's
feel the
going on,
anti?
Vulture? Other than what's going on, because I refuse to channel that kind of information for anyone that like is messaging me wanting to know like we're having internet blackouts or you know why is this happening, blah blah blah. I don't like to channel
I don't
that.
care about that either. I am curious as if we're all going in.
um
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Well, you're unfrozen
That's
for
okay.
me.
It froze.
Yeah, that's okay. I think I
Okay.
got your question.
Okay.
This kind of turned into a channeling Voltaire thing at the end. I like this though. First off, look, before you begin, Valti, I'd also like to say that our Stardust videos now, the last one and this one, are very casual towards the end. You're just like
That's
talking.
true.
This is how you and I usually talk to each other.
This is like when we press the stop button, but we're just letting it
Uh-oh.
roll.
Yes. Okay, you keep freezing and then you come back. Um, okay, so Valti, he's saying without getting into too much detail about the virus because I don't he's saying
Right?
because Heather doesn't want to.
Right.
You're right, I don't. Um, the world is healing itself. A lot of people are going inward because a lot of people have been avoiding that.
Mm.
Um, this is not the sole reason. This is by means, and this is in no way me saying that this is the only reason why this is happening. There's always many layers to
Yeah.
experiences and catalysts for growth. Just know that this is a catalyst for something. For some people, it's a reality check. For some people, it's to push them in one direction. For others, it's a completely different reason entirely. It's learning to be more compassionate, perhaps, or gaining or letting go of something. Everybody is having their own experience within this. So for you particular girls, ladies, madams, he says, uh, you do a lot of work for others. And right now is a time to be with yourselves, to work on yourselves, to, he said, talking about your solar plexus. He's saying working on the solar plexus. You wouldn't give this opportunity any more thought if there were other things currently happening.
You're right. Like I said, as a go-getter, I'm like forced.
So it's a big time for a lot of you to go inward and heal. Work on whatever it is you wanted to work on. Maybe something about working on passions, like finding a passion, sparking that again.
That's a good
Um,
idea. I'm passionless.
But that's all he says. He's like, that's not getting
Okay.
into anything too much because I find
So
this shit.
we are kind of shutting down then. I mean, in a good way. I don't mean, you
Yeah.
know.
Everyone's going into their cocoons and they'll come out beautiful butterflies.
Oh, I can't wait.
Just know this is, yeah, obviously, but people don't know that. It's not the end of the human race. People don't know that. And people think I'm so, like, callous about it. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just looking at the statistics. But that sounds very gray like, like just seeing the facts.
You're right, it does. But you know what? It's kind of also, I mean, it is true. It's science, it's facts, and we both like that kind of thing. But also,
That's so,
I think I what?
what, go for it. No, you go ahead.
Sometimes it's just a matter, for me anyway, of self-preservation. Because if I let myself think about the suffering and the fear, it will really, really hurt my heart. So I remember I was talking to them about not too long ago that I've decided that I thought I was kind of an asshole for not being more empathic, or just, empathic's the wrong word, but having more empathy for the suffering in the world. I thought I was a jerk for not whatever feeling about it. But I kind of let myself think about poor animals being, you know, suffering and tortured or whatever. And I thought about it for about 10 seconds, and I just was so overwhelmed with hurt that I had to shut it right back down. So I feel like when we stick to the facts and stuff, it's also a way to protect
Yeah.
our feely hearts from hurt.
He's saying that you can't possibly feel everything. You'd be overwhelmed.
Hmm.
Um, and he's saying, so that's not to say just because everyone feels exactly how they're supposed to feel. It wouldn't be
Hmm.
good if everybody were fearful about the same thing. Um, just as though it wouldn't be good if everybody was not fearful about it. There needs to be an even balance on
That's exactly
emotions.
what Aiden said. He
Yeah,
spoke about that lazy Susan table. And if we're all over here, the table won't spin around because we're pushing on the gear
right.
or whatever it is.
He's like, so I know there's been like a lot. I've been bullied a lot during this whole thing, even by family
Oh,
members,
baby. I
about
know you
because they're
have.
saying like you don't care. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to share positivity, and you're taking it the wrong way.
Yes, yes. I don't
So,
like having my intentions be misconstrued. Ugh, don't
so,
feel good.
so I'm like, no, it's not that I don't care. I'm not saying who gives a shit about the people who are dying. Did I say those words? No, I did not. I'm just
What I
saying.
said was that many people have recovered, and that's a good thing.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, but that goes into the whole thing of like what I'm trying to heal from, and it sparked a whole fight. Not really a fight because it wasn't like we're screaming and yelling at each other or anything, but it sparked
A difference
this
of opinion.
this rift, I would say, between my mother and I. It's been
Mm-hmm.
happening for a few years now, so it's not like just something that randomly happened. This has been a buildup for some time, and Voltaire is pointing out you went through the same thing as Pimpette with because my mom now was my mom then in that lifetime. Um, but she's, I love my mom, and she's no chance in hell she's gonna see this, so I don't fucking give a shit.
I know, I'm like that too. I talk my smack.
But she says that I'm cavalier and I'm insensitive, and I I had let's backtrack for a second. For a few years in my like early to my mid 20s, I thought I was a piece of shit person. I thought that I was if somebody didn't want to be my friend anymore and just like completely blocked me out of their life, both on
Hmm.
Facebook and outside Facebook, I thought I was because I was somebody who was awful and mean that deserved it. And because there was no way in hell I could fathom that someone would, do that to me without me having done something. So I thought
Right.
maybe I'm such a narcissistic person. I don't even realize, how bad of a person I am.
Mhm.
And I don't know where that came from. I assumed for the longest time it was because, of having been bullied or something. But I found out it's a result of my mother.
Mhm.
And that could
Mm,
change too. It could be maybe it's just an added layer to it.
right.
But growing up, I was such a quiet child. Um, my family was huge and loud, so I couldn't get a word in edgewise anyway, even if I wanted to. But I didn't. I was just so shy because whenever I did open my mouth, oh, Voltaire has his hand on my shoulder. Um, Whenever I would open my mouth, I would feel stupid because
Yeah.
either people would just talk over me, ignore me, or I would just get lashed out at somehow in some way.
Hmm.
And it So I just shut down and I was quiet. And then after I went through being in an abusive relationship with an ex-boyfriend of mine at 17 and I got out of that, it was like he made me find my voice because he like completely took it away from me. So after that, I was like, fuck you guys and fuck everybody. I'm going to be loud. And I was weird. I found out how weird I fucking was. I found out how fucking sexual I was as a person. I was just sex jokes for days. Um, Voltaire's smiling. And I really,
Tati.
I really came out of my shell. And I was really outspoken, and I was even surprised by how much I was saying, and even talking to my family more, saying comments, jokes I found funny.
Hmm.
Um, and for the longest time, my family, whenever they would tell jokes, and I would get upset because they would hurt my feelings. Some of them were just teasing. And my
Hmm.
parents would always say, you need to not be so sensitive.
Mm.
You need to stop. We're just joking. They get mad at me about having my feelings hurt.
Yeah, you get in trouble for having your feelings hurt. It's like my mom saying, "You're gonna cry. I'll give you something to cry about." Smack.
Right.
What?
So it's not like my parents are bad people, but this is mostly centered around my mother. My dad plays his part as well. But for a long time, I had no idea how much I was being put down by them until just recently.
Hmm.
And when I was around 23, there was this pivotal moment that kind of led to down this path where I'm at now. It was such a small experience that it seems insignificant. I was at my parents' house at a barbecue. My sister Nicole comes out of the into the backyard, and she's like, her and my other sister Brittany, I have tons of sisters, they were talking to each other, and all I heard was Nicole saying, well, I have some advice for you, with whatever the hell they were talking about. And I was like, oh no, Brittany, don't take Nicole's advice. She doesn't know what she's talking about, like a joke. I was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't listen to her. It's nothing but trouble. I had hurt her feelings by that. Nicole is super fucking sensitive, more so than I am. I don't think so though, now that I think about it. I think we're both just as sensitive. She just shows it a lot more. Um,
Okay.
but I guess she went off to one of the bedrooms to cry because I had made her cry because of my joke, which I did not intend for that. But
Right.
everybody hurts her feelings super easily. Even if you have the slightest inflection in your voice, she'll start
Hmm.
crying. Which at this point, I'm like, that's not my fucking responsibility to walk on eggshells around you.
Right.
Um, anyway, but my dad called me in to the bedroom to talk to me to say that you made your sister cry. And then he went on to say, lately, the past few years since you were a teen, we know this is a phase, but you've been really cruel towards everybody. You know, you're you hurt people's feelings, you hurt your mom's feelings, you hurt your grandmother's feelings, my mother's mom. And he's like, I've noticed the way you treat them, and I've noticed the way that you hurt Josh's feelings too. Like, he brought in my boyfriend about it, and I'm like, I thought that was way out of left field. I started crying because he said, you're very uncompassionate. And I'm like, that is not who I am. I know I'm a compassionate person, but I was sitting there thinking, you know, shit, now I'm gonna start crying. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am the shit person because the people who gave me life, if they say those things about me, they have to be true. You know,
Mm.
those people know you the best. So, anyway, ever since then, I think you noticed it too. For a while, I kept apologizing after I would say something. And you would say, my feelings aren't hurt. I kept apologizing for every joke, anytime I was blunt or just myself. I was apologizing for who I was for like 3 years. And it finally just clicked in my head that, you know what? they said that this is happening since I was a teenager, and that's when I found my voice, was in my late teens. It's not that I'm a bad person. They just don't like who I am. They don't like that I'm blunt and straightforward, that I have a dry sense of humor. I'm not a mean person.
Right.
They just, and that just hurt. So this is what I've been dealing with this past week. It's why I closed myself off to readings, because I'm just not in the right headspace right now. Of
Baby.
realizing your parents don't like you.
Baby. I know that hurt. I know that hurt. I'll have my mama. I'm so sorry.
My mom, she was my best friend my entire life. So I feel like I lost not only that mother I could feel safe with, but I lost my best friend in the process, and it's been really hard. And but some positives are that I'm a lot closer to the sisters I didn't get along with too well. So, and I realized that we probably didn't get along because we're too much alike. So we've been calling each other every day, and
That
one of
is a
the
great silver lining, isn't it?
yeah.
Greek.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna need them. My sis, not to be rude, but let's just think about it logically. My sisters are gonna be around a lot longer than my parents, and I never
Yeah.
was really close with my sisters, so it's kind of building up that relationship that I'm going to need when my parents eventually do go.
There you go with your callousness again. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Anyway, so
Oh, well, the truth is too that the souls that love us the most bring us the biggest challenges for our greatest evolution. So, I think about that with my mom, about how fucked she is here. But I know that in another place, it was all for me. It's kind of sad, but we choose to get to these places in different ways. And the stranger that lives on the other side of the planet that I have no idea exists is not going to be the one to help me evolve. It's going to be those closest to me.
right, yeah,
Hmm.
I know I'll get through it, and I'm trying to find a way to be okay with it. I saw my mom the other day because she pays me to clean her house for her because she doesn't want to clean it, and then she doesn't want to hire someone else because they charge too much. So she's like, Heather, here's $100, clean my house. But and I'm like, sure, whatever. So and she's working from home, so I got to be around her,
Yeah,
and
how
it's
was
not.
that?
It was anticlimactic. I love her so much still. It's not like I resent her.
You're
And I
having a
don't,
big bump in your road.
and
Yes, the dust will settle and something new will be recreated.
right, but I am not open with her anymore as I used to. I'm not sharing with her
Right.
things going on in my life. Especially because I can't. What started this whole thing with my mom saying I'm cavalier and insensitive was because I had come to my family with my feelings hurt because somebody who was a close family friend of mine, it happened on Facebook, which is not important, but it just started this whole thing with me getting upset by what they said, and I just wanted to vent to my family. Um, what happened on Facebook is not important. It's like usually I get over
It's
it. And I would just wanted to go to my family and be like, hey, this is what
right.
happened. And it was with a cousin. So I'm like, look what this fucking cousin said. And
Right. It was the lack of support from the family, not the cousin's nonsense.
right. What ended up happening, and this is something I noticed, and it was kind of like, it just, I don't know, really hit home, is that when I would come to them for help, they make it twist it around and make it about how it's my fault. It's your fault this happened. And my mom made it that way. She said,
Fuck
well,
that.
you are cavalier and very insensitive. And you hurt my
You
feelings
asked for
too.
it.
Yeah, she's like, and you hurt my feelings too. So I'm not surprised your cousin said that because you probably said something to deserve it. And it's like, wow, are you fucking kidding me? And so that's how I grew up, was whenever I would come to my parents saying, hey, you hurt my feelings when you did this, they would say, well, you did this. And
Yes.
it's gaslighting. They gaslit me, and I've lived with that gaslighting for years. So that's why I feel guilty whenever I get upset at somebody. I feel guilty whenever someone's mad at me, or even though I'm like, I guess in the right, in the
Right.
situation. I know there is no true right or wrong, but say I'm going to fight with somebody and, you know, it's really their fault for why it started. I still feel guilty like it's my fault and I got to fix it and I got to take all the blame because it's so much easier than the other way around because I was so used to it. It's your fault. It's your fault this person's mad at you. Even though they're the person that punched me in the face, you know? It's like, well, you deserved it, you know, kind of thing.
I have the same problems with people trying to turn that shit around on me. Well, that's actually, the video I was trying to do earlier. I was kind of dishing about my husband, and there's a reason for it, and I'll talk about it in Silver Linings. But I get to a point where I get so angry, I start off cool, calm, and collected, but it escalates, and I get to the point where I'm fucking screaming. You talked about your throat chakra, and I had that reading with you, and I didn't have a voice for my whole life. All of a sudden, I have a voice, and I'm fucking screaming. I'm screaming my message. Eventually it'll come down here, but I'm still kind of over here in screaming land. And as soon as I get to that place, it's like he unconsciously pushes those buttons to get me to that screamy place, because then he could say, wow, you're crazy. You're psycho. And it's all on me now. The original issue of whatever offense he just did has been completely swept away because here's this big screaming person here. And I never feel responsible. Well, I don't like to get screamy, but I can honestly say I do start off, I try to use my words in a constructive way, but I lose my fucking shit. And it just, I don't know where I was going with that, but I know. I never feel responsible for it because, I feel yes and no. I know that it got to that place because my buttons were pushed. So I don't feel like, oh no, it's all my fault. But I have an opposite or a different kinds of frustration because they don't, and by they, I mean him, never owns it. I never get the satisfaction of him saying I was in the wrong. I won't say never because he gives me enough nuggets to keep me going and to keep me trying. Because he does have these moments of clarity, and it's like, the heavens sing and the sun shines down. That's how I feel. And as soon as he concedes that he gets it, I shut up and walk away. It's when he denies it that I start getting louder, or when he, deflects and goes in a different direction, or whatever it is he does, I keep, no, we're coming back here. This is what you did. But as soon as he owns it, I'm like, that's it. But anyway, I don't do what you do, whereas I don't accept responsibility for everything. But I'm equally frustrated because the person that is responsible won't own it and keeps pointing fingers or doing what you said, gaslighting, and finds a way to make me out to be the bigger, louder bad guy. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And I think, I'm not saying, and I know that this is building off what you're saying, that that you're not the innocent party completely. It takes two to tango.
Right.
And I know it takes two to tango, but at the same, it's like, I recognize my part. I know I make mistakes. Sometimes my humor is off-putting for some people that don't know me. And that's why I'm careful about who I'm humorous with. And but at the same time, I should not have been treated that way. And for this long.
Right.
And it was such a huge, aha moment. It was a painful aha moment. It's almost like I hadn't seen it for years at all. It just never hit me at all. Even when my other sisters, they have all been in abusive relationships, and they didn't see how they could have been. They're like, we don't see it. We don't get it. Oh my God. I really hope my parents don't say this, but own your shit too, guys.
Well, no, for real. You're being factual. Keep going.
But they didn't see it until they saw as an adult the way my dad treated my mother. It's not physical, but it's very emotional and mental abuse. And that's how it starts out, and then it leads to physical. So we had no idea why we're able to be with such people we're with. But then we finally saw it for what it was. But I still didn't see it. I thought my sister is just trying to find a way to kind of reason why she could be with somebody like that. And she wanted to point the finger at Dad because, she has real daddy issues. She knows that. She even says that. She wouldn't be upset if I said that. But now I'm seeing it, and it was painful for me to see how much my parents played into all of my shit,
Right.
I thought, and I still think they're really great parents. They're so much full of love. Just the other day, my dad messaged me because he knows I'm going to hypnotherapy and everything and dealing with all my issues. He told me how proud he is and he loves me unconditionally. So they're not bad people.
Right.
They just have shitty parts that we all have shitty parts.
And some people truly, they're not on the same kind of accelerated, path towards evolution, and they're really not going to change and grow much. They're who they are. So and I'm not, I mean this for everybody that's not on our path. I'm not picking on your parents, but they probably won't change and grow from that. Whereas, people, I hate to separate. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make us like we're so much better, but it's just our souls chose to have this spiritual path. That's all it is.
Now, this is
And
talking
because of
about,
that,
yeah, everybody who's watching Stardust. We're all like this. We're all better than everybody.
we are. We're way better. Put that on all your resumes. I'm in the Stardust group. Suck it, haters.
That sounds cultish. No, I take that back.
Right. But we see challenges and strife as opportunities for growth. Whereas like my mom, she's just going to be stuck in her same cycles till the day she dies. But I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, that we can take that shittiness out of it, that big aha moment, that big painful epiphany you had, your dust is still settling, you're still hurting, you're still getting teary about it, but that it's going to just propel you and give you that thicker skin and give you that perspective, a bigger perspective. So, in the end, all of the hurts we suffer are not a bad thing. I know I just said that 10 minutes ago in a different way, but I said it again.
Maybe you needed to be said.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I am starving. I cried. I never like to cry, so.
I never cry. I didn't get teary at all this time. I never do. I know I'm going to eat some food too. I've been at this shit for hours just trying to hook my microphone back up because my kids have been playing with my computer and they disconnect it. I don't know if this is it or if it's going through the computer mic. I hope it sounds good on the playback. We'll see. Anyway, it looks pretty. All right, sissy pants. I love you. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay. I love you.
Bye,
too.
Saturnians. Bye, Sammy J. Bye, Volty. I'm so flirty with him.
I know, right? He says bye, like in the same tone. Toodaloo, adieu.
All right, everybody, Stardusters, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.